Standing before reporters in Chicago earlier this month, Senator Kirk Dillard was grinning from ear to ear. The state's largest union of education employees, the Illinois Education Association, announced it would endorse Dillard in the Republican primary, which would undoubtedly come with a much-needed financial infusion to his campaign.
The money is important, but certainly the 130-some thousand members they have and their volunteers are also helpful. Teachers are obviously very motivated voters at this point.
After suffering his share of setbacks in the launch of his campaign last year, Dillard may be hitting his stride at just the right time.
Momentum is clearly on my side.
As Illinois Treasurer Dan Rutherford's campaign has suffered setbacks, Dillard and Brady have been jockeying to become the alternative to the deep-pocketed frontrunner, Bruce Rauner. The IEA gave Dillard $250,000 in his 2010 run for office when Dillard lost to Brady by a brutal 193 votes. He's hoping the recent endorsement helps shift his struggling fundraising, which has suffered since Rauner picked away at some of his loyalists, including GOP insider Ron Gidwitz. If fundraising comes through, expect Dillard to trot out one of his biggest assets in a TV spot.
We are prepared to do television as the money proceeds. We've got Governor Edgar on tape.
Sit through any candidate forum, and it's a point Dillard repeatedly hits.
As the last clean and competent governor's chief of staff, Jim Edgar.
Former Governor Jim Edgar told the Sun-Times he initially tapped Dillard to work for him because the Hinsdale Republican had a background in private practice combined with experience working in the governor's office under former Governor Jim Thompson. Dillard studied political science and economics at Western Illinois University, then went on to earn a law degree from DePaul University's College of Law. He now is a partner with the Chicago-based law firm Locklord. Dillard served as a judge of the Court of Claims for a few years. He went on to be Jim Thompson's legislative liaison from 1983 to 87. He then joined the legislature after serving in Edgar's office. Since his loss in 2010, Dillard has lurched a little farther to the right. He appeared at a rally opposing same-sex marriage in Springfield.
And defining marriage between one man and one woman to protect children and our families is something that the legislature has a duty to do.
On Friday, Dillard won the endorsements of two pro-life groups, something Dillard is sure to prop up as evidence of his conservative bona fides. Last December, Dillard voted against a landmark but controversial pension reform bill. At the same time, his running mate, State Representative Jill Tracy from Quincy, voted for it. Brady has hit Dillard on this point more than a few times, opening a recent gubernatorial forum by congratulating Tracy on her vote to reform pensions.
I particularly give Jill Tracy, Senator Dillard's running mate, applause for having the courage to vote for the most difficult piece of legislation ever put in front of the General Assembly.
The most damaging material against Dillard remains an ad he aired, boosting then U.S. Senator Barack Obama in 2008.
Senator Obama worked on some of the deepest issues we had, and he was successful in a bipartisan way.
Dillard defends it, saying he worked with Obama in the state Senate to advance the first ethics reform the state had seen in 2 decades.
That ad was nothing more than about ethics. And I strongly supported Senator McCain. I was the second leading vote getter for Senator McCain statewide. And that ad was nothing more about ethics. And any time a Democrat works with me on a Republican principle like ethics, I'm going to pat him on the back and say, let's do it more often.
Still, with Obama's burgeoning unpopularity with Republicans, airing a pro-Obama Dillard ad remains an effective weapon for any Dillard opponent. Quote, I have to say that I was surprised, Governor Edgar told us. Until they ran that ad, he had that primary won, he says of the 2010 primary. I just think that's short-sighted of Republicans. It's important we work together. I cannot underscore enough that is sorely needed in Springfield, Edgar says. That's a trait that's very important. You're not the governor of the Republican Party. You're the governor for the state of Illinois.